Good morning. Today we are going to be making this a wintry scene. And if you want to turn these into Christmas trees, feel free, but I'm just doing like a wintry scene with some happy little trees here. And so that's what I'm asking you guys to do. I'm gonna go ahead and show you the process. And then when you actually download it, it will download and it will download as the size of a piece of paper. So it's okay if you go off the edge a little bit like I did here, because when we download it, it'll look like that. So let's go ahead and get started. You're gonna open up a new tab and go to your Google Drive. So you can click your waffle if you are in Chrome, and then go to your drive. And then go into your intermediate art folder. All right, and then go ahead and click New, More, Google Drawings. Great. Now what we're going to do is we are going to change the size of this so that we are using basically an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, and we're going to make it tall. We're going to make it portrait. Okay, so let's go ahead and put a name here. Put your last name, first name, and then we're gonna call it, let's see, the other one I called Winter Trees. So we'll call this Winter Scene. All right, so last name, first name, Winter Scene. Okay, so rename it and put your name in the file. I like seeing your last name first, because then when I can download them to put them in the gallery, it already has your last name. Otherwise, I have to rename it. And if you put your last name first, then it's in order of what my roster is, where your names are on the roster. So last name, first name, and then Winter Scene. Okay, now we're going to click File. And scroll down to Page Setup. All right, so we went File, Page Setup. And that's not what I'm looking for. I apologize. Oh, Document Details. Sorry. So File, scroll down to Document Details. And no, that's not it either. Oh dear. Hold on. I did this last night when I practiced. Oh, it is Page Setup. I'm sorry. It is Page Setup. And then you click Custom. Oh, Jiminy. Okay, so go File, Page Setup, and then choose Custom for the page setup. Sorry, thanks for bearing with me there for a moment. And then the width of your paper is 8.5 because it's 8.5. And then the height is going to be 11. So it's 8.5 by 11 inches, just like a normal piece of paper. And then we'll click Apply. And there we go. Now we have our normal piece of paper. All right, so we named our file, which is inside our intermediate art folder. And then we changed the setup, the size of our page, to be 8.5 by 11. Now we're going to make a background for our scene. So let's go to Shape, and we're going to choose a rectangle so that we just draw a rectangle going around the whole background here. And then remember, we don't want any outlines. So every time you draw a new shape, if it has a black outline around it, you need to have that shape highlighted and then choose border color and choose transparent so that we no longer have that black outline. All right, so with your shape highlighted, we go to the little pencil and then we choose transparent for the border color. Now we're going to change the gradient of our sky so that we have it where it gets lighter as it gets towards the bottom. So this is like nighttime, and so up here it's darker, and where the sun had set, the sky is like a little bit lighter. So to do that, we click on our shape and we choose fill color and we choose gradient. Are you with me? So fill color, we choose gradient, and then we're going to choose custom. So we're going to add a custom fill. Okay, so we can see here that it's lighter up top and darker at the bottom. We want to do the opposite. We also want it to be blue for the sky. So click this lighter color, which is up here at the top, and then click the little color, and we're going to choose a dark blue color. And then choose this side where we have this gray color, click it, come back to the color, and choose a light blue. Or you could even choose white. I'm going to choose a light blue. And then, okay. Now we have a dark sky up top and it gets lighter as we go to the bottom. All right. The next thing that we're going to do is we are going to create these kind of ridges, almost like snowbanks. So we're going to see the little line tool here. It looks like a little barbell. Click the arrow next to it and go down to polyline. And I'm going to start up here. And I click, and then I'm just going to kind of drag down to kind of make a mountain shape coming down the side. When I get to the edge, the other edge of my paper, I just click, and then I'm going to go down to the corner, and then down to this corner, and then back up. Remember, it's okay to go outside the lines a little bit, because when we download this to save it, it'll save it as a picture and it'll cut off the edges, and so we won't see like the part that's hanging off the edge. It'll make it a nice picture. All right, this has a black border around it, which I don't want, so I'm going to come up to the pencil tool while this is still highlighted and choose transparent. All right, and now I want to give it a gradient, and as we can see, it's white up at the top, and then it gets a little bit more shadowy as it comes down. So let me show you that. So we click to highlight our shape, we go into the color. Again, we're going to choose gradient, and we're going to add a custom gradient here. So this time we want the top to be white, and then it's going to get blue as it goes down. So this one on the left-hand side is this top lighter color. So this is highlighted, you click it, and then choose the color, and I'm going to choose white because it's snow. And then towards the bottom, I'm going to choose a blue color because it gets darker as it goes down to the bottom. So I click this little gray, and then I'm going to choose a blue color. Something like that. Click OK. And I want it to have a little bit more white. I don't want only the white up here at the top. I want the white to come down further. So let me show you how to edit your gradient and get it a little bit more custom. So with the shape still highlighted, I'm going to go back to the fill color, and I'm going to add another custom gradient because I can't edit the other one. It's already made, so we're just going to add a new one. So it already has what I made before. What we're going to do is we're going to add a gradient stop. So add, and so here we can move the slider with this other color to change our gradient. Well, since I want more white here, I'm going to actually make this color stop here, I'm going to make it white. So I click the little color and I go up to white. And now I can see in my preview window that more and more of it is white as I scoot that along. So let's see what it looks like if I leave the gradient here and click OK. I think that looks good. I like that. I'm happy with it. All right, for our next shape that comes across, let's go ahead and grab our polyline tool here. And I'm going to start on the right side, but a little bit lower from where I started on the left side. And I'm just going to kind of make a, oops, don't click too close, because then it'll like end it. Oh, that's not what I wanted. So a little bit lower. All right. I'm just going to go right off the edge there and remove the border color. And let's see what it looks like if I choose the same gradient. It kind of looks like an iceberg. Don't worry, we'll fix that. All right, if I click away, choose my arrow tool and click away, we can't really see what's going on here. I need this blue gradient in the back to come up a little higher. So I'm gonna click this background one and let's see, can I do that? I can kind of edit it. I think I'm gonna edit the gradient though. So let me add a new gradient so I can edit. And I'm going to make the blue come up a little higher. There we go. So now I've got some blue coming up behind so we can see that this ridge is in front of this one. All right, we're going to make one more ridge. And that comes down in front of this one in the same direction. So let's grab our polyline, start at the edge. Go off the edge and then come up. Let's remove the border and then give it a gradient. And I'm going to make the blue on this one come up a little higher as well. Let's see. But I kind of want it to be a little different. So I'm going to add a new gradient and I'm going to change the angle a little bit. Let's change it the other way. Yeah, let's do something like that and see what that looks like. Oh no. No. That's not what I want. Maybe I can do like 85. It's not gonna let me. Okay, I'm just gonna make the blue come up a little higher. That's not too bad. All right. So next we're going to draw some trees. So let's grab our polyline tool again, and we're going to put some strategic happy little trees here. So I'm going to start with this top ridge here, and we're going to make a big tree. And I'm actually going to draw over the top of the ridge, and then we're going to use our layer tools to move it down behind this ridge. But I'm just going to come across to make the bottom of the tree, and then I'm just going to kind of make some jaggedy back and forth going tall. And then let's remove the border and then change the color to a dark green. This one does not need a gradient. And it's still highlighted, it's got that blue outline, so I'm going to choose Control or Command and then push the down arrow. So on my keyboard, I push Control or Command and then the down arrow, and it's going to move it there. It went right behind the ridge. Now, I don't like how far in that little point comes, so I could actually double click here on my shape using the arrow tool, grab that little guy right there, and move it out. And then grab this guy and move it out. All right, I like that better. So if you need to edit a point or two, you can double click, see your little points, and move them to fix your tree. All right, let's go ahead and make another tree. I'm going to highlight this tree and then grab my polyline tool, and hopefully it'll copy the same green color. If not, I can just change the color. All right, excuse me. All right, I'm gonna put another tree right down here on this ridge. But this one's going to be a little bit smaller. All right, and then again, Control and the down arrow. If it isn't already green, go up here, change the border color to transparent, and then choose that dark green color. All right, let's do another tree right here in the middle. And how did I do this before? I guess it's off to the right side a little bit. And this one I actually gave a stump to. So we'll give it a little stump. It's just gonna come up a little bit into the sky there. All right, we'll do another one up on this ridge. And then scoot that behind, Control and back. I'm gonna scoot that down a little bit. There we go. And then I want one more tree right here. So grab that polyline tool. And remove the border and make it green. Oh, I made that one darker green. Let's choose that green. Alrighty. I've got my trees. Let's move that one behind the ridge. Command or Control and down arrow. Great. We have our trees, we have our sky, we have our snowbanks. Now we're going to go ahead and make the moon. Ooh. So let's grab a circle tool. So go to Shapes, grab the circle tool, hold down the Shift key as you draw your circle, and that will keep it a perfect circle. We are going to remove the border, and then we're going to make it a light gray color. So choose whichever color you want for a light gray color. Now you can get even more intense if you want on your detail by grabbing more circles and then putting some, let's see, remove the border, and then we'll do a gradient, and we want a gradient like that. Actually, let's give our moon a gradient. But instead of, see, the sun isn't like up here. The sun's going to be in a different direction. So let's edit our gradient, and we're going to choose, yeah, I like that one. So just choose a different angle, and then that means that this, if you put some craters on there, you don't have to do craters. I didn't do craters on the original one, but if you want to, you can. All right. Can I zoom in? Let's see. I can zoom in. All right, I'm gonna grab my arrow tool. I'm actually gonna grab that crater that I made, and I'm gonna copy it and make some more craters on the moon. Oops. All right. go back out to fit because I don't feel like doing too many craters. All right, we are now going to give our moon a glow. Ooh, this is like advanced Google drawing. Are you ready? Okay, we're gonna grab a circle. And again, hold down the shift key and we're going to draw a circle around our moon. Okay? And then you can center it. Those red lines will show up when you have your circle centered over your moon. We're going to remove the border. Then we're going to go into a gradient for our fill color. And we're going to do a custom gradient. So click plus. Okay. Instead of being a linear gradient, we're going to choose radial. And the inside is going to be a little bit darker and the outside is going to be transparent. All right, I follow along. That's why I'm recording this, so you can pause and redo. So the inside is going to be a darker color and I want it to be blue. And it's not really dark, it's just like more blue. So I'm gonna choose this light blue color. It's light blue 2. Actually, let's do cornflower. All right. So then this side, the outside of my radial glow, is going to be transparent. Haha, see? So we've got a glow and then it gets transparent. However, it's just barely transparent in the corners here, and I already know from practicing that we're going to need to add a gradient stop. Our gradient color, again, is going to need to be transparent. And then we can scooch this out so that the color just starts to barely touch the edges of our circle, of our square here. So set it up kind of like this. This is transparent, and this is like a light blue color. Okay? And then click OK. And now when I click away, ta-da! It looks like our moon is glowing. All right, let's add some clouds. So grab our polyline tool. And I just made one cloud shape and copied it, but you can do more than that if you want. So I'm starting off the page and I'm just gonna kind of make some like long cloud shapes. They're kind of square, or we don't have any curves unfortunately, but that's okay. And then let's remove the border, and we're actually going to choose a like partially transparent color. But here's how we do it. We go custom. We're going to add a custom solid color. We don't want it super transparent. We have to have it just partially transparent. And here's how we do that. So we pick a blue color for our clouds. I don't know, something like that. And then we move this one down here down in the transparency. So pick a blue color somewhere in here, and then we're going to move our transparency. This is totally clear and we wouldn't see it. This is totally opaque and we don't see anything behind it. But if we go kind of towards the middle, then we're going to have something that's partially see-through. Ta-da! So now I'm actually going to hold down the Alt key and drag my cloud and just make a couple extra clouds. So there we go. Now I've got some extra clouds. If you want to draw separate clouds, you could go ahead and do that. I need to move these clouds behind the tree because as big as that tree is, we need the clouds behind it. All right, and then same thing with that cloud. There we go. So now those clouds are behind that tree. Last step, one last step, is we are going to add some cute little snowflakes. So let's go to our circle tool. And we're going to draw one tiny little circle. Let's try that again. Oops. Circle tool. I'm going to hold down the shift key so it is a circle. And when I click away, there it is. You can see it. We need to remove the border, and we're going to make it white. And then Control C, and then Control V. Just lots of them. Just make a whole bunch. And then you're going to drag them all over your page. Oops. Just, all Control Z if you accidentally, move something that you shouldn't move. And ta-da! If you need another one, just grab one, Control C, Control V, and then grab it, move it wherever you want. And that's it. All right, I hope you have fun, and I can't wait to see your beautiful winter scenes. And if you want to make these into Christmas trees, you can. That'll just take a little bit more time, and if you've got time, do it. I'd love to see it. All right, thank you.